The world between worlds. A vast expanse of endless stars and swirling nebulae, where time and space converge. Within this mysterious realm, the Force weaves the threads of countless realities. Through its portals, we glimpse infinite possibilities, a galaxy where one decision can reshape everything we know. Here, in the world between worlds, we see the echoes of destiny fractured and reformed. The Force binds all living things, but in this place, it also reveals what might have been. Every portal opens to a galaxy far, far away. A galaxy familiar, yet wholly different, where the balance of light and dark shifts in ways unimaginable. Time, space, reality, the Force moves through all of it. And yet, even the strongest currents can be altered by the smallest moments. Now, we step into one of these realities to witness a galaxy shaped by a single choice. A place where history bends, futures collide, and the impossible becomes possible. And so, we are left to ask just one question. What if? Hello there, and welcome to What If Yoda Sensed Mace Windu's Death, Part 1. Location, Mid-Rim, the Mitarar Sector, Kashyyyk. Time, 19 BBY. The battle for Kashyyyk rages on. Blaster fire and explosions shake the treetops as Wookiees and clone troopers push against the Separatist droid army. Amid the chaos, Grandmaster Yoda stands on a high platform, observing the battlefield with sharp, calculating eyes. Suddenly, Yoda stiffens. His cane trembles in his grasp. A great disturbance in the Force, a powerful one. It crashes over him like a tidal wave, filled with pain, betrayal, finality. It is not just any Jedi, no. This presence was strong, familiar, a master of the Order. And now it is gone. Mace Windu is dead. Yoda slowly exhales. His grip on his cane tightens. His expression dark. Fallen Master Windu has. Betrayal, I sense. Grave danger the Jedi are in. Without hesitation, he turns to the Wookiees by his side, Tarful and Chewbacca. Leave, I must, to Coruscant, immediately. Tarful and Chewbacca exchange a glance, but do not question him. The urgency in Yoda's voice is enough. They quickly lead him to a hidden transport ship deep within a jungle. As the ship's engines hum to life, Yoda activates a highly secure Jedi frequency, one known only to the Jedi Council. Across the galaxy, every Council member's wrist communicator flashes with a red priority alert. The Council members pause in the midst of their battles, confused by the sudden message. When they open the transmission, Yoda's voice is urgent but controlled. Masters of the Council, an emergency this is. Leave your battlefronts immediately. To the Jedi Temple, return at once. Grave danger we all face. There is no explanation, no discussion, only a direct order. Some hesitate, unsure of what could warrant such urgency. Others, sensing the unease in Yoda's tone, move without question. As the Wookiee ship launches into hyperspace, Yoda closes his eyes, meditating. The Force is shifting, growing darker. Whatever has happened on Coruscant is only the beginning. Yoda sits in meditation aboard the Wookiee transport, his small frame still, but his mind racing. The darkness in the Force is growing, twisting. He opens his eyes, activating the ship's hollow terminal. With a few commands, he patches through a direct connection to the Jedi Temple's command war room, where countless battle strategies have been coordinated throughout the war. The holo projector flickers, and a familiar figure appears, Sindralig, the Jedi Battlemaster and the head of the temple's security. Sindralig, Grandmaster Yoda, what's going on? We weren't expecting a transmission from you. Yoda, trouble there is. Where's Master Shakti? Sin frowns at Yoda's grave tone. Sindralig, she's meditating in her quarters. Yoda's ears twitch. Yoda, now she must come. Get her, you will. Without hesitation, Sin nods and disappears from the transmission. A moment later, he returns, now joined by Shakti, her expression calm but concerned. Shakti, Master Yoda, what's happened? Yoda takes a slow breath. Yoda, a great darkness has fallen. Master Windu, gone he is. A heavy silence fills the war room. Sin and Shakti exchange a stunned glance. Shakti, gone? Sindralig, Master Windu took a strike team to the Chancellor's office. He hasn't returned. And then realization dawns on them. Shakti, then something terrible must have happened. Yoda nods. Yoda, the Jedi are in grave danger. Returning to Coruscant, I am. The Jedi Council too. He straightens slightly, his voice hardening with command. Yoda, Sin, an immediate defense of the temple you must prepare. Sindralig stands at attention, awaiting his orders. Yoda, gather the temple guards, 200 to 300 there are. Position them at the main entrance. Jedi Masters 200 there are. Station them throughout the temple. Prepare for anything. Sindralig, understood, Master Yoda. We'll be ready. Yoda turns his gaze to Shakti. Yoda, Shakti, the younglings you must evacuate. 700 there are, along with the healers, archivists, and non-combatants. Take them to the escape ships. Leave Coruscant at once. Shakti bows her head in understanding. Shakti, I will ensure they reach safety. Yoda continues. Yoda, Jedi Knights and Padawans, remain they must. Defend the temple and assist the evacuation they will. Sin and Shakti both nod, the weight of the moment settling upon them. Yoda, time we have little. Immediate action you must take. Now go. After a brief pause, Shakti's voice crackles through the calm once more. Shakti, but Master Yoda, what about the Jedi? All the Jedi scattered across the galaxy. The battlefronts, how do we contact them? Yoda's expression darkens, his eyes narrowing with the weight of the question. He takes a deep breath, his voice heavy with sorrow. Yoda, too late it may be for them. Their battles far from here, too far to reach in time, it seems. A somber silence fills the calm. Shakti and Sin exchange uneasy glances. Yoda, but if time permits, activate, you must, the emergency beacons in the Jedi archives. Alert the Jedi, they must know away from the battlefronts, they must go. Immediate safety, they must seek. Shakti's resolve hardens as she absorbs the gravity of Yoda's words. Shakti, understood, Master Yoda, I will do so immediately. Yoda, then act quickly. For the temple and the younglings, we must prepare. The transmission cuts out, leaving Shakti and Sin to execute their orders. As Yoda sits in his ship in hyperspace, the holoproject once again flickers to life, showing the faces of the Jedi Council members as they travel through hyperspace toward Coruscant. Yoda is still in his own ship, with each master en route to the temple. They gather on a secured frequency, and the conversation begins. Yoda, Masters, listen carefully. To Coruscant we travel, but much has happened. The time is critical. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Master Yoda, you spoke of urgency. What has transpired? Why the need for haste? Yoda's eyes narrow as he speaks, his voice heavy with the weight of the revelation. Yoda, a disturbance in the Force, grave it is. Mace Windu, lost we have. The strike team he led to arrest the Chancellor, they went. Palpatine, likely Sidious he is. The suspicions of the Council, correct they are. A Sith Lord he has been all along. A collective silence falls over the Council members. Each master processes this revelation, some looking stunned, others grim. Plo Koon, Palpatine, the Sith Lord? This is worse than we imagined. Kiari Mundi, how could we have missed this? He manipulated everything. The Senate, the Republic, and now the Jedi. Yoda, sly Sidious is. Long have we been deceived. Mace did not return from his mission. I sense the death of Windu was part of his plan. A trap. It was set for him. We must prepare, for the Sith are no longer hiding. Coleman Kaj. Then what of the Republic's forces, Master Yoda? The battlefronts still rage. Yoda. The battlefronts no longer our concern. The Sith have moved. To the temple we must go. If the temple falls, everything else will be lost. Prepare, we must. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Master Yoda, this is troubling. But what about Anakin? Do you know where he is? Yoda's expression darkens, though he remains focused. Yoda. Anakin. He is not part of the emergency frequency. Unknown his location is. But we trust him. We must. His art is good. We hope it is not too late for him. Obi-Wan's brows furrowed, a sense of worry creeping into his voice. Obi-Wan Kenobi. We must not lose him, Master Yoda. He is the last hope. Yoda's gaze hardens. Yoda. Hope? Still there is, but patience we must have. To the temple, we hurry. The dimly lit halls of the Jedi Temple echo with the hurried footsteps of Jedi Masters as Shakti and Sindralik prepare the final stages of their defensive plans. Shakti moves swiftly, directing the Jedi Temple staff and non-combatants towards these secret evacuation routes. Her calm demeanor masks the storm brewing around her, and her determination is unwavering as she checks each individual's readiness. Shakti, make sure the younglings are in the lower halls. They are the priority. No one is to remain in the upper floors unless absolutely necessary. Sindralik stands at the temple's command center, already coordinating the defense teams with military precision. His voice is steady, despite the looming threat. Sindralik, set up the sentry positions. The temple guards will take the main entrances. We'll need backup at the archives and the Great Hall. No Jedi will be caught unaware. The two Jedi move through the temple, working together to fortify the stronghold. In the archives, Jedi texts and holocrons are being secured in hidden compartments. In the main hall, the temple guards form defensive lines, awaiting any assault that might come. Shakti, the Sith will not take this place easily. Sindralik, nor will we fall without a fight. Their preparations continue in silence, each knowing the fight ahead will be unlike any they've faced before. They are the last line of defense now. The Jedi Temple stands as the final bastion of hope for the Republic, but in the pit of their hearts, they both feel the weight of what is coming. Elsewhere on Coruscant, the 501st Legion stands at attention, awaiting its next orders, ready for their next mission. Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader, approaches the command center, his face a mixture of determination and confusion as he is briefed by Commander Appo. Commander Appo. General Skywalker, with orders directly from the Chancellor. You are to lead the 501st to the Jedi Temple. There's an emergency situation, and we are to assist in securing the area. Anakin nods, accepting the orders with military precision, but there's a flicker of doubt in his eyes. Anakin Skywalker. Understood. I'll lead the troops to the temple immediately. As the clones mount their ATTEs and transports, Anakin surveys the vast army of battle-hardened soldiers at his disposal. The 501st has fought alongside him on countless battlefronts, and he knows each soldier by name. But today feels different. Something isn't right. Without a word, Anakin strides toward his starfighter, his hands clenched into fists. His mind races, filled with thoughts of Padme, the dark path he has walked, and the terrible decisions that loom. But before he can ponder further, an urgent transmission interrupts his thoughts. The cold, commanding voice of Palpatine crackles through his communicator. Palpatine. Vader, it is time. Execute Order 66. The Jedi have betrayed us. The Republic must be cleansed of this treason. The galaxy will be ours. Anakin's heart stops. He is given a moment to process the order, but it's clear. His fate and the fate of the Jedi is sealed. His hands hover over the activation button. The thought of his former comrades, his friends, his mentors, fades from his mind. With a single command, the fate of the Jedi Order is sealed. Anakin Skywalker, it will be done, my lord. The transmission cuts off, and Anakin looks up at the Jedi Temple in the distance, a looming structure battered in the setting sun. His gaze hardens as he starts the engines of his ship. Behind him, the 501st follows in formation, the air crackling with energy, anticipation. As Anakin's starfighter descends towards the temple, the 501st Legion follows in perfect formation, their boots stomping in unison on the pristine marble floors of Coruscant. The gates of the Jedi Temple loom ahead, seemingly impenetrable, but they know their orders, and they will carry them out. Anakin leads the charge, his heart cold, his mind focused. His path has been chosen. As the clones march toward the temple's massive steps, the weight of the moment presses heavily on Anakin's shoulders. His legs feel heavy. Each step forward, a small piece of the old man he used to be slipping away. The clones, ever loyal to their general, follow him. Each one knows their duty, their mission, but in their eyes there is something more. An unsettling sense that they are no longer fighting a war. They are marching into an unknown future, one that will forever change the course of the galaxy. The steps of the Jedi Temple are now the final threshold to the beginning of an epic battle. The clones move in sync with Anakin as they approach the towering stairs leading into the temple. The air is tense with anticipation, and the sky above them darkens ominously. Anakin's grip tightens on the hilt of his lightsaber as he takes the first step onto the grand staircase. The end of an era is at hand. Hello there, and welcome to What If Yoda Sensed Mace Windu's Death, Part 2. Location, Coruscant, Jedi Temple. Time, 19 BBY. The 501st Legion, with Anakin at the lead, ascends the stairs of the Jedi Temple, the weight of their mission pressing down with each step. As Anakin reaches the top, his pace slows, and the final step seems to echo in the silence. His face is set in determination, but beneath the surface, the conflict brews. The dark side is strong within him now. Anakin breathes out quietly, the words forming in his mind. The Jedi have failed the Republic. This will end today. Behind him, the clones move in unison, weapons at the ready, but their expressions remain unreadable beneath their helmets. Meanwhile, high in the stars, the Jedi Council is en route to Coruscant in hyperspace. Their mission is to return and confront the growing chaos they sense. But little do they know, the situation has already spiraled out of control. Their journey will soon bring them face to face with the fallout on their inaction. At the top of the temple stairs, Anakin stops, his boots making a firm sound on the stone as he stands before the massive doors. The 501st closes ranks behind him, prepared for what's next. But before Anakin can move forward, a figure steps out from the shadows. It's Sindralic, flanked by two imposing temple guards. His posture is confident, yet there is a calmness in his eyes, a readiness for whatever may come. Sindralic raises a hand, signaling for the clones to halt. Sindralic's voice rings out clearly. Anakin Skywalker, what is happening here? Why have you come to the temple with your soldiers? Anakin turns to face him, his expression hard, his voice is low, yet it carries an undeniable weight. I have come to end this war. The Jedi are no longer the guardians of peace. They are the ones who have betrayed the Republic. Sindralic's gaze sharpens. He steps forward slowly, his hands resting on the hilt of his lightsaber. This is not the way, Anakin. You don't have to do this. The Jedi still stand for the Republic. You must stop. Anakin doesn't flinch. His voice is cold, unwavering. I've already made my decision. The tension between them is palpable. The weight of history is in every word spoken. The temple feels almost like a ticking time bomb, the fate of the Jedi hanging by a thread. Sindralic stands tall, but his heart sinks as he sees the determination in Anakin's eyes. Sindralic steps back slightly. Then I cannot stop you. He draws his lightsaber, readying for the inevitable battle. Sin stands at the base of the stairs, his eyes fixed on Anakin. But it's Commander Appo, standing just behind the Dark Jedi, who catches his attention. With a mix of confusion and disbelief, Sin calls out to him. His voice echoes through the courtyard, demanding answers. Commander Appo, Sin shouts, his tone laced with urgency. Are you okay with this? What is happening here? Appo doesn't answer right away. His blank, mechanical gaze is fixed ahead, his expression emotionless. Then, in a voice devoid of humanity, he responds, his words chilling and devoid of the loyalty he once had. We have been ordered by Lord Sidious to execute Order 66. Sin's heart skips a beat. The weight of the words strikes him like a blow. He stands frozen for a moment, trying to comprehend the situation. Fear creeps into his voice as he responds. Pardon me? His thoughts are racing, but the storm is already upon them. Oppo, flinching, delivers his response in a robotic tone, his mind fully ensnared by the order. Good soldiers follow orders. Sin's grip on his lightsaber tightens, his eyes darting from Oppo to Anakin, his former friend now a shadow of the Jedi he once knew. The fear and uncertainty grow heavier. Sin opens his mouth to speak, but before he can, Anakin steps forward, his voice filled with delusion. Don't question what's happening, Sin. This is the only way. The Jedi are a threat to peace. You should understand that, Anakin says, his eyes glowing with a fanatic intensity. Sin feels a knot tighten in his stomach. He can hardly believe the words coming from the once noble Jedi Knight. But there is no time for more words. His instincts kick in. The battle is coming. With a final glance at Anakin and Oppo, Sin begins to back up slowly, his 2 Jedi Temple guards flanking him. The doors to the temple loom ahead, and the air is thick with tension. As they reach the entrance, Sin makes a quick motion with his hand, signaling the temple guards to prepare. They move with swift precision, backing into the temple with Sin. The doors slide open, and they retreat behind them, closing them with a heavy thud, sealing the temple from the chaos outside. The moment the doors are closed, the quiet is almost deafening. But Sin knows the battle for the Jedi Temple has only just begun. Outside the temple, the silence is unwavering. The air is thick with the weight of uncertainty, the tension palpable. The clones, standing still as statues, seem unaware of the storm that's about to break. The stillness is eerie, as if time itself has slowed. Sin wastes no time. He activates his wrist comb and speaks urgently. His voice crackles across the frequency, carrying the weight of betrayal and fear. The clones are betraying us, Sin says, his voice sharp and filled with disbelief. I don't know what's happening, but Anakin is with them. We must prepare for defense immediately. All Jedi report to your stations, and those in the evacuation process, you must hurry, right now. The message echoes throughout the temple. Every Jedi who hears it knows that the moment they've feared is here. Far away in the temple, Master Shaak Ti and the others, including the Jedi still focused on evacuating the temple, pause as the message reaches them. Their hearts sink. Shaak Ti's calm voice responds, though tinged with disbelief. We're being betrayed by the clones? Anakin is with them? Sin's voice trembles over so slightly as he replies, his words laced with dread. There is no time to explain. I fear something bad is about to go down. Shaak Ti takes a moment to process, but her response is firm. Understood. We are still evacuating the temple. We will proceed immediately, but we do need to hurry. As Sin hears the words, a pit forms in his stomach. He knows that time is running out. The Jedi Temple is under attack, and the forces within are scattered. There's no turning back now. Anakin, standing at the front of the temple, gazes up at the towering structure. His mind is a whirlwind of conflicts of emotions. His loyalty to the Republic, the Jedi, and his personal demons. The silent presses, suffocating. Finally, Anakin mutters, almost to himself, I guess we're gonna do this the hard way. His voice is a mix of resolve and sorrow, but there's no turning back now. The Jedi have made their choice, and the clones, bound by their orders, are ready to carry out their part. And then, as if on cue, the silence is shattered. A deafening explosion rips through the air as gunfire from the Republic gunships rains down upon the Jedi Temple. The ground shakes violently as blaster fire impacts the walls. The temple's sturdy structure groans, dust falling from the ceiling. Another explosion, then another. Each blast a harboring of the storm that is about to sweep across the sacred halls of the Jedi. The ATTEs lined up just outside the temple grounds open fire, their cannons tearing through the gates. The blast doors begin to crumble under the weight of the assault. The clones, led by Anakin, charge forward with unrelenting force, pushing into the temple grounds. Inside the temple, the Jedi who've gathered for defense brace themselves. Every Jedi on standby feels the ground tremble, the chaos unfolding. Beyond the walls, there is no more time for hesitation. The temple is under siege. The walls vibrate from the powerful shots being fired. The air inside is thick with sounds of blaster fire and the shuddering of the structure. Dust falls from the ceiling and cracks begin to appear along the walls. Jedi with lightsabers drawn stand firm, awaiting the inevitable breach. Their hearts are heavy, but their resolve is unshaken. As the sounds of explosions intensify, the Jedi prepare for battle. They know what this means. The temple has been compromised, and the fight for its future has begun. As the siege of the Jedi Temple continues on Coruscant, the galaxy-wide execution of Order 66 is already in full swing. Clones, once loyal to the Jedi, turn their blasters on their commanders without hesitation, following Darth Sidious's orders to eliminate the Jedi Order. However, unlike the original timeline, more Jedi survived the Purge thanks to the emergency beacon that was activated by Shakti and Sin earlier. The beacon, which was triggered by Yoda's call to evacuate, had already reached Jedi across the galaxy. Many Jedi managed to escape the front lines and seek immediate shelter before the full force of Order 66 hit. On Felucia, Aayla Secura stands in the midst of her battle, commanding her forces to hold the line. But before she can react, a single shot rings out from behind her. The bolt strikes her in the back, instantly dropping her to the ground before she has a chance to defend herself. Her lightsaber falls from her grip, and her body crumples. As her clones advance, the survivors of her battalion, alerted by the emergency beacon, began to retreat into the jungle, making their escape from the massacre. On Seleucami, Jedi Master Cardin Dar is caught completely off guard. He's in the midst of coordinating with his troops, unaware of the imminent betrayal. His clone soldiers, his own trusted battalion, suddenly turn on him. There's no warning, no time to defend himself. The clones, in perfect sync with their programming, shoot him down before he can even draw his lightsaber. His body falls lifeless as his battalion marches forward, completing the grim task set before them by Sidious. Meanwhile, on Vision, Jedi Master Talis Kor fights bravely to protect his forces. As the attack on his position begins, his battalion of clones turns on him, executing their deadly orders. Master Kor, realizing their betrayal, makes a final attempt to flee, but is struck down by his own clones. His lightsaber, still ignited, falls beside his body as his battalion moves past, ensuring the Jedi's death. Despite these tragic losses, the beacon sent earlier from the Jedi Temple saves a few. Jedi who had heard the warning are now scattered across the galaxy, forcing into hiding. Some escape into the wilderness, while others are already planning for the survival of their order, knowing that this day is far from over. Back inside the Jedi Temple, the siege is escalating rapidly. The clones' attack grows more relentless by the second, their gunships battering the temple's outer walls. The once sturdy defenses are starting to crumble under a barrage. Inside the temple, Sin surveys the situation with a growing sense of urgency. The defense plan he initiated set in motion is no longer enough to hold back the overwhelming clone forces. Realizing the dire need to adapt, Sin orders retreat to tighter spaces. We have to give ourselves an advantage in the inner chambers. His voice rings with authority. There's a trace of fear, a recognition that the Jedi are outnumbered, and the situation is far worse than anyone anticipated. The remaining Jedi quickly follow his orders, falling back into the more confined areas of the temple, narrow corridors and smaller rooms that might give them a chance to hold out against the advancing clones. The Jedi draw their lightsabers, ready for the onslaught, determined to protect the temple at all costs. While the battle rages on outside, inside, the evacuation is underway. In the temple's hangars, the younglings, healers, priests, and all those unable to fight are being hurriedly loaded into transport ships. These ships, their engines already primed for takeoff, are set to leave Coruscant and fly to a series of safe havens, locations far from the heart of the galactic conflict. The Jedi Temple was once a sanctuary for all, but now it's a war zone, and the danger is too great for the non-combatants to stay. The hangars are a flurry of activity, as the Jedi and support personnel ensure that everyone who cannot defend themselves is safely evacuated. The tension in the air is palpable. The Jedi who remain behind are the defenders, the warriors who will try to hold the line for as long as they can, but they know, deep down, that the temple's fate is uncertain. The only thing they can do now is ensure as many possible escape the incoming storm. Sin, standing in the center of a narrow hallway, awaits the clones entering into the temple. He stands among his brothers and sisters, the Jedi Temple guards, Jedi Masters, Knights, and Padawans. They stand still, waiting in their positions in the narrow hallways of the inner temple, and wait for the clones to finally break the siege and enter the temple. Inside the Jedi Temple, explosions rock the walls as the siege intensifies outside. The clones have surrounded the temple, but haven't breached its defenses. Yet. Sin watches the chaos unfolding outside with grim determination, knowing the battle is only beginning. He quickly taps his wristcom, the small device flashing to life with a soft beep. A few moments later, Shakti's face appears on the screen. Shakti, Sin begins, his voice steady but laced with urgency. I need you to head to the war room immediately. The council members in hyperspace need to be informed of what's going on down here. Shakti, already knowing the seriousness of the situation, nods firmly. Understood. I'll inform them right away. Without hesitation, she disconnects the call and heads off toward the war room. Meanwhile, Sin takes a deep breath, turning back toward the ongoing siege outside, preparing what's to come next. The sound of blaster fire and explosions shakes the air as the main entrance of the Jedi Temple finally gives away. The clones break through, storming into the heart of the temple, with Anakin Skywalker at the forefront. His once noble expression has now hardened with a cold reserve as he leads the charge. But as they rush into the main hall, they are met with an eerie silence. No Jedi, no resistance. The temple is empty. Anakin stops, scanning the hall, his eyes narrowing with confusion. The clones begin to fan out, moving cautiously into the different corridors, their boots echoing on the marble floors. They call out in low voices, but there is no response. The Jedi have already retreated, disappearing into the shadows of the temple with deeper chambers and narrow corridors. Anakin clenches his fists, frustration building. Spread out, he commands, his voice steady despite the unsettling emptiness. We need to find them. They're here somewhere. The clones obey, breaking into smaller squads to search different areas of the temple. Anakin leads the charge down to the main corridor, determined to find the Jedi and finish what was started. Meanwhile, Shakti, having received Sin's call, is already in the war room, quickly relaying the gravity of the situation. As she makes the transmission, her words are urgent, but she remains calm. Council Masters, she speaks to the holographic projections of the Jedi Council members still traveling in hyperspace. The siege has begun on the temple. The clones have betrayed us. Anakin is leading them. They've begun attacking and the temple is under heavy bombardment. I urge you to be cautious as you exit hyperspace and approach Coruscant. Be ready for what lies ahead. The hologram flickered with solemn acknowledgement. Each Jedi Master on the other end knowing that the battle they feared was now upon them. Back at the temple, the clones continue their search, but the Jedi, having retreated deeper into the temple, are preparing for the next move. The siege has truly begun. The clones have breached the inner sanctum of the Jedi Temple, pouring into the deeper chambers. Their blasters blaze, lighting up the corridors with flashes of deadly fire. The Jedi Defenders, led by Sin and others, engage in fierce combat, holding the line with everything they have. The sound of clashing lightsabers and blaster fire fills the air as the Jedi and clones fight in tight quarters, neither side willing to yield. Meanwhile, Shakti, resolved in her mission, continues her tireless work at the evacuation. She directs the younglings, priests, and healers and those who cannot fight into transport ships for immediate evacuation. The hangars are a flurry of activity, Jedi rushing to and from, ensuring everyone is safely on board. But despite the effort, the siege rages on. Hello there, and welcome to What If Yoda Sensed Mace Windu's Death, Part 3. Location, Coruscant. Above the planet. Time, 19 BBY. 8 Council Masters emerge from hyperspace. Their Jedi starfighters glide into the view above Coruscant. Their entry is met with immense aggression as the Republic fleet opens fire, targeting the oncoming Jedi ships. The Republic fleet tries to intercept, sending shots towards the Jedi starfighters. The Jedi Master's ships jolt slightly as they evade the blaster fire. The fleet then sends out clone starfighters, and as the Jedi enter the atmosphere, the fleet halts its fire, but the starfighters follow. The Jedi Masters are skilled pilots, so they quickly handle the new threat, blasting the clone fighters out of the sky with precision. After neutralizing the enemy starfighters, they push forward to the surface of Coruscant, their targets now set on the Jedi Temple. Once in position, Obi-Wan Kenobi taps his wristcom to get in touch with Shakti on the surface. Shakti, Obi-Wan says, his voice carrying a hint of sarcasm as usual. What's going on down there? What's the situation? Shakti, still overseeing the evacuation, responds with a composed tone. We're still loading the non-combatants onto the ships. Sin is leading the defense inside the temple. We're managing, but the clones are relentless. They've breached the perimeter, but we're still holding. As Obi-Wan absorbs the information, Yoda's voice cuts in, stern and unwavering. No, launch the ships, you cannot. Fire from the Republic fleet, destroy them, it will. So how do we evacuate the temple? Shakti says with a desperate voice. With the Republic fleet no longer actively firing on them, but still posing a risk, Obi-Wan issues new orders. Shakti, we need to abort the launch. The Republic fleet will shoot down the transport ships before they even leave the atmosphere. Instead, move the non-combatants to the archives. The secret tunnels will give them the best chance. Shakti reacts quickly. Understood. I'll reroute them through the tunnels. The younglings and the others will be safe. As the Jedi quickly begin changing their course, the non-combatants are directed into the archives. There, they're led down the hidden tunnels, secret paths that will lead them away from the siege. Meanwhile, the Jedi Masters and their starfighters make their final approach to the temple. As they descend toward the besieged Jedi Temple, they launch an assault on the clone forces outside with their ATTs and gunships providing air support. The Jedi begin to push back. The clone starfighters are quickly overwhelmed by their superior piloting skills of the Jedi Masters. The clones don't stand a chance, and one by one, the enemy fighters are shot down, leaving the Jedi Masters free to engage the ground forces. Additionally, the Jedi have the element of surprise, as the clones on the ground didn't expect any Jedi air support, and weren't contacted by the fleet about incoming ships. With Sin still holding the line inside the temple, support from the air gives the Jedi defenders the breathing room they need to keep the temple secure. The Jedi Council Masters, having obliterated some of the clone starfighters, gunships, and ATTs that were wreaking havoc on the ground, make their final descent to the temple hangars. Their ships touch down with precision, the engines humming as they power down. The Jedi are immediately met by Shakti, who has been overseeing the evacuation. We're glad you made it, Shakti says, breathing a sigh of relief. The clones are already inside. We're still evacuating, but it's getting harder to hold them off. The Jedi Masters exchange brief glances before Obi-Wan speaks up, his voice full of urgency. We do not have much time. Get the younglings and the non-combatants down to the archives as quickly as possible. The temple may not hold for much longer. We'll handle the front lines from here. Understood, Shakti replies, her tone firm. I'll ensure they're rerouted. After Shakti heads back to assist with evacuation, the Council Masters, Yoda, Plo Koon, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the rest of the group, now fully united, make their way toward the front lines. As they move through the halls of the temple, the sound of blaster firing grows louder, the clash of battle getting closer with every step. They arrive at the front lines, where Sin and the remaining Jedi Defenders, Masters, Knights, and Padawans, and the Temple Guards are putting up a valiant defense against the attacking clones. Sin, seeing the reinforcements, nods solemnly. We've been holding, but we're being overwhelmed. The clones keep pushing forward. Plo Koon takes his place beside Sin. We fight together now. The temple must not fall. Yoda, his cane tapping as he surveys the situation, adds, defend we must. The future of the Order depends on it. With that, the Council Masters, now joined by Sin and the Defenders, step into the heat of the battle. Their lightsabers ignite, the green, the blue blades cutting through air as they engage the clone forces head-on. The Jedi Temple Guards, their electro staffs flashing with energy, fight alongside the Jedi, holding the line as the clones push forward. The battle rages on, with Jedi fighting to protect the sacred temple, their home, against the overwhelming onslaught of the clones. The battle rages around them, blaster fire shrieking through the air and lightsabers flashing in a chaotic dance of light and death. The Jedi Temple is shaking from the sheer intensity of the conflict. The sound of lightsabers clashing against blaster fire is deafening, as both Jedi and clones fall in the heat of combat. It is a sight to behold, an epic spectacle of destruction and chaos. Amidst the battle, Obi-Wan Kenobi finds himself standing beside Yoda, Plo Koon, and Sindralic, cutting down clone after clone. But something gnaws at him. The news that Anakin Skywalker is with the clones weighs heavily on his mind. With a determined and solemn tone, Obi-Wan speaks to Sin, his voice full of doubt. Sin, we were informed that Anakin is with them, but is it true? Sin pauses, his face grim as he watches the ongoing battle. Yes, Obi-Wan, he is, and it seems he's turned to the dark side. I'm sorry. Obi-Wan's heart sinks. He refuses to believe it. It can't be, he mutters to himself, almost in disbelief. It just can't be. Anakin would never. Before he can finish, a shadow looms in the distance, and through the smoke and flames of the battlefield, a figure steps forward. Anakin Skywalker, now clad in the black armor of the clones, his face twisted in anger and pain, emerges from the chaos. His lightsaber ignites, the blue blade casting an ominous glow as he slowly approaches the Jedi Masters. The clash of battle seems to stop for a moment, as if the entire universe has held its breath. The Jedi stand in shock, but they steel themselves. Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Plo Koon face him, their lightsabers raised, but Obi-Wan is the first to speak, his voice filled with both sorrow and resolve. "Anakin, why? Why have you done this?" Obi-Wan's voice cracks, the weight of the moment clear in his eyes. Anakin's eyes flash with pain and rage as he faces the former master. "You don't understand, Obi-Wan," he growls. "You never understood. The Republic betrayed us. The Jedi have failed us." The words hit like a hammer, but Obi-Wan doesn't give up. He steps forward, his voice shaking, but firm. "Anakin, no! This isn't you. The dark side has clouded your vision. It's not too late. Please, come back." Yoda steps forward, his cane tapping softly as he speaks. "Listen to Obi-Wan. You must. Save yourself. You can still." But Anakin is lost in rage, the air around them cracking with tension, and the flames of the battlefield roar as explosions shake the ground. Blaster shots fly by, but the three Jedi stand firm, their eyes locked on Anakin as they try to reach him. Then, to everyone's shock, Anakin's expression changes. His shoulders slump, and the rage drains from his face, replaced with confusion and pain. For a brief moment, he just stands there, breathing heavily. Anakin falls to his knees, his lightsaber clattering to the floor beside him. The weight of his actions clashes down on him, and his voice shakes as he whispers, "What have I done?" The battle around them continues, but in this moment, it is as if time has stopped. Obi-Wan, seeing his former Padawan on his knees, steps forward with hesitation. His eyes are filled with a mixture of sorrow, regret, and hope. Obi-Wan kneels beside Anakin, placing a hand on his shoulder, his voice gentle but firm. "Anakin, you've made a grave mistake, but you can still fix it. It's not too late to come back to the light." Anakin looks at Obi-Wan, his eyes filled with tears, the weight of everything he's done pressing down on him. The Jedi, even amidst the violence around them, stand in quiet solidarity, their blades extinguished for this one moment of profound emotion. I don't know how," Anakin whispers, his voice raw with regret. "You don't have to know," Obi-Wan responds, his voice filled with conviction. "Just believe in yourself, like you once did. The galaxy needs you, Anakin. You can't make things right." And in that instant, something shifts with Anakin. The anger that once consumed him begins to fade. He reaches out with a trembling hand, and with Obi-Wan's help, he stands up, slowly but surely. The battle rages on, with both clones and Jedi falling in an ever-escalating conflict. Explosions rock the temple, and blaster fire echoes through the halls. Yet despite the chaos, a sense of unity has emerged amongst the Jedi. Bolstered by Anakin's return to the light side, his help has turned the tide for a moment, allowing the defenders a brief of respite. With Anakin now fighting alongside them, the defense of the temple becomes more resolute. The sound of clashing lightsabers and blasters fills the air as Jedi Knights, Padawans, Temple Guards, and Masters continue to hold the line. But despite their best efforts, the clones keep pushing forward, and it becomes increasingly clear that the temple itself will not be able to withstand the onslaught much longer. As the battle continues, Shakti and the others leading the evacuation work tirelessly to get the younglings, archivists, and healers safely out of the temple. The secret tunnels within the archives become their lifeline, as these safe passageways lead to the outskirts of Coruscant, where they can find refuge. One by one, the younglings are escorted through the tunnels, their eyes wide with fear, but they follow the Jedi with trust and determination. The healers and archivists, those who are not trained for combat, also make their way through, guided by the Jedi Masters and Padawans, while Sin continues to coordinate the evacuation with precision. The defenders, Jedi Knights, Masters, Padawans, and Guards continue to hold their ground, but the pressure is mounting. The defenders retreat toward the archives, with many of them injured but still fighting valiantly. Anakin, still standing strong, leads the charge, his lightsaber cutting down clone after clone as they retreat further and further into the temple's deepest hallways. His presence on the front lines gives the remaining defenders the courage they need. As the situation grows dire, the temple begins to collapse in certain areas. The clones push forward relentlessly, but it is clear that the defenders are running out of space. The final retreat to the archives becomes a matter of survival. The Jedi have done their best, but the temple is now a trap, a prison from which they cannot escape easily. The last of the Jedi Masters, including Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Plo Koon, make their way through the tunnels, ensuring that as many survivors as possible are evacuated. The younglings, archivists, and healers are safe, but the Jedi The defenders have suffered devastating losses. The Jedi Temple Guards, once an elite force, have been nearly wiped out, with roughly 75% of them perishing in the battle. Many Masters, Knights, and Padawans have also fallen. Mace Windu, Aegon Collar, Kit Fisto, and Saesee Tiin had already fallen to Palpatine's treachery, leaving the Jedi Council with a deep scar. But despite the staggering losses, the Jedi are not completely defeated. The Council Masters, those that remain, are now safe in the archives, as well as Sin and a handful of other Jedi. For their numbers are greatly diminished, they have successfully evacuated the non-combatants, and they are now safe within the archives, behind locked doors. The archives, once a place of knowledge and peace, have now become a final bastion of the Jedi Order on Coruscant. As the doors to the archives close and the remaining Jedi take their positions within the depths of the archives, the survivors are given a brief moment of reprieve. The door to the archives is sealed, and the remaining Jedi breathe a sigh of relief. The fate of the Jedi Order now rests on these few, scattered survivors. The room falls into an uneasy silence. The Jedi, though wounded and grieving, are still strong. Their mission has shifted from defense to survival. The temple may have fallen, but the Jedi Order still exists, still endures. And as the Jedi rest in the archives, they know that this is far from the end. They will rebuild, they will preserve. The war is not over, but for now, they are safe. At least, for the moment. The Jedi storm Palpatine's office, their lightsabers igniting in a chorus of defiant hums. At his desk, Darth Sidious merely smirks. His golden eyes, cold and unfeeling, scan the warriors before him. So, he sneers, his voice a low growl. The Jedi finally come for me. Too little, too late. The room crackles with dark energy. And then, Palpatine strikes. A storm of red lightning erupts from his fingertips, the air filling with the acrid scent of burning metal. The Jedi barely raise their blades in time. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Plo Koon, Shakti, and Depa Billaba stand at the front, deflecting the deadly assault. Clones of the 501st and the 212 burst into the chamber behind them, the blasters raised. Palpatine laughs, his voice a shriek of madness. You cannot stop me. I am the Senate. With a flick of his wrist, Senate pods tear free from the foundations. They hurtle through the air, forcing Jedi and clones to dive for cover. Lightning dances across the walls, shattering columns, burning holes through the ground. The room itself trembles as the true power of Darth Sidious is unleashed, and the battle begins. Anakin and Obi-Wan charge together, their blades a storm of blue ring. Yoda leaps, flipping through the air with astounding speed, clashing against Palpatine's crimson saber. Plo Koon and Depa Billaba flank from the sides, striking with deadly precision. The Sith Lord is relentless. He moves like a phantom, a shadow of death. He strikes unpredictable, unstoppable. He fights with pure hatred, pushing the Jedi back step by step. But for the first time in his life, he is outnumbered. For every Jedi he knocks down, another takes their place. Palpatine's fury grows. His attacks become more reckless, more desperate. His face twists in rage. His breathing grows heavy. He is not invisible. And then Anakin sees the opening. Time slows with a final, devastating strike. Anakin's lightsaber carves through Palpatine's defenses, a blue blade piercing the Sith Lord's chest. Palpatine staggers backwards, his mouth agape in disbelief. Blue lightning crackles wildly from the fingertips, his body convulsing in pain. His golden eyes flicker, not with rage, but with fear. For the first time, Darth Sidious knows what it means to lose. With one final, pitiful gasp, he collapses. His body crumbles into darkness. Darth Sidious, the greatest Sith Lord in history, is dead. Silence. The Jedi stand frozen, their breath heavily, their bodies weary, and then they realized the battle is over. The Republic broadcast the truth to every corner of the galaxy. Palpatine's deceptions is laid bare. His secret identity as a Sith, his orchestration of the war, his betrayal of the Republic. The galaxy gasps in horror. The Jedi were never traitors. The Sith had played them all. In a moment of unprecedented unity, the Senate immediately votes to deactivate Order 66. The inhibitor chips are overridden. Across the stars, clones lower their weapons. Some drop to their knees, overwhelmed by guilt. Others, realizing the truth of what they've done, swear to spend the rest of their lives making amends. The war is over. The Republic, once though doomed, has a second chance. Bail Organa is elected Chancellor, with Padme Amidala and Mon Mothma by his side as co-chancellors. Together, they vow to rebuild the Republic into something greater, something free from corruption, free from war. The Republic is reborn, the return of the Jedi. Across the galaxy, Jedi survivors emerge from hiding. They return to the ruins of the temple, stepping cautiously through the walls. Where there was once a fire and death, there is now hope. The Jedi Council reforms, though they are no longer the rigid order of the past. They have learned. Anakin Skywalker is granted the rank of Master. His marriage to Padme is not condemned, it is embraced. Attachments, love, and compassion are no longer seen as weaknesses. The Jedi Order will not repeat its past mistakes. They will not be warriors. They will not be blind to suffering. They will be what they were always meant to be, keepers of the peace. The Jedi Order is reborn, a galaxy united. The stars burn bright over Coruscant. For the first time in decades, the galaxy is at peace. A grand celebration erupts across the Republic. Fireworks explode in brilliant colors, illuminating the night sky. Music fills the air, the sound of millions cheering in unison. At the heart of it all, they stand on a great balcony overlooking the city. Anakin, Padme, and their newborn twins, Luke and Leia, stand together. At their side, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, Yoda and Plo Koon, Rex and Cody, Bail Organa and Mon Mothma. The Jedi, the clones, the leaders of the Republic, they watch as a new era dawns. And then, two figures appear in the Force. The spirits of Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace Windu step forward, bathed in soft blue light. For a long moment, Mace Windu stares at Anakin. The tension lingers, heavy and unspoken. Then, with solemnity, Windu speaks. "You've done well, Skywalker." Anakin, overwhelmed, bows his head. "I'm sorry, Master Windu." Mace's expression softens. "You have nothing left to atone for." Qui-Gon steps forward, his voice warm with pride. At last, the balance has been restored. Anakin exhales. For the first time in years, he is at peace. The High Republic has returned, and a new age has begun. As the fireworks explode over Coruscant, the galaxy watches in awe. The Republic is reborn, the Jedi have returned, the darkness has fallen, and at long last, the galaxy is free. Alright guys, and that is it for What If Yoda Sensed Mace Windu's Death. All parts. This was part 1, 2, and 3 of this awesome What If in one video. This What If, honestly, I really like this What If. I really like writing it, I really like making it, and it was a nice little 3-part What If. I think it's going to be rare that I make 3-part What Ifs. I was kind of, testing the waters a little bit. So let me know if you guys, like that this was, split into 3 parts. I mean, as you can see, all together, it is, 50 minutes, all 3 parts together. So, I guess if it was split into 2 parts, it would be 25 minutes. So I think it would have been fine. But, again, I want your guys' opinion of, if you like how I split this What If up into 3 videos. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, to like the video, and turn notifications on to be notified the next time I post a video like this. Of course, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if we do, we are going to do a face review. So hey, subscribe to that, we are posting a Star Wars What If every single Thursday and Sunday every single week. So, stick around for that on the channel. Also, make sure to join our Discord server. Trying to expand our community over there. Link in the description, and join our Patreon if you want to support the channel and get exclusive perks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this just as much as I did. And yeah, this is the way. And may the Force be with you. Until then, I will see you next time. Hey, you didn't watch it? Well, check out the video on the left side of the screen, which is specifically recommended for you, or check out the playlist on the right of the screen, which contains similar videos to this one, made by me, of course. Hey, remember, subscribe.